Hi everyone, welcome back to If My Heart Had Wings, Flight Diary, Akari's Route, Episode 5. So we are now coming to the more interesting parts of Akari's Route, so the romance. So Akari has been acting strange, and Masasugu, who also works in the student council, can sense it. So in most of the routes for If My Heart Had Wings, Masasugu goes with Akari after he broke up with Eri-chan. But here in this route, Masasugu is kind of upset that Akari has feelings for someone else. So when Akari went to Kanako for help, she talked in a way that, so I have this friend and she loves this one person, and this friend is worried that the person she loves already has a girlfriend. So what should I do about it? And I'm sure Kanako can sense through all the smoke and mirrors. So she knows what Akari is talking about. So right now, it looks like there's some conversation between Aoi and Kotori, with Kanako budging in. So let's see what this is about. So Kanako's like,
仲いいね、お二人さん。何よ、カナ。
So are you making fun of us, Kana?
別に。なんか夫婦みたいだなと思って。
No. So it's more like parent and child.
どこの夫婦がおやつの管理なんてするのよ。でも、葵先輩と小鳥先輩、息ぴったりです。
Oh, so Asa is here too.
そうそう。二人にその気がなくても見えちゃうよね。そういう関係に。
See?
そういう関係って？彼氏彼女の関係？
So you two do look like a couple. Yeah, right. So can we give this a rest so we're not in a relationship of any sort? I let out an exhausted groan. Okay, so here we go again.
そこは照れつつ声裏返らせてしどろもどろに指定するところでしょうが。
Well, I'm sorry, but thanks to the someone here, I've had more than enough of this subject for one day.
実は最初の頃私、お二人はお付き合いしてるんだと思ってました。でも違うんだ。
And you're not.
違う。
Yeah, so we're not. There you go, so we are not. I want to make that point clear. So no more, I'll say, second thoughts from anyone, especially from Kanako. And I'm in no mood for more gossip around who may or may not be seen.
そっか。ごめんね、変なこと言って。今のは忘れて。
So I'm sure even Ageha can sense that, I'm pretty sure Aoi is hiding something.
どうしたんですか、アゲハ先輩。
And it looks like Ageha was also watching from behind.
いや、別に。
Nothing.
葵さんに彼女ができないのって鳥先輩のせいなんじゃ。なんでそうなるのよ。
So why am I an influence, or why am I preventing him from getting a girlfriend?
そっか。みんな葵先輩には小鳥先輩という立派な彼女がいるって勘違いしちゃうから。
So basically, you are hogging him.
あると思うな、それ。いつも二人一緒にいるし。
Well, cool, Kotori. Well, I'm officially, blaming you for my love life being virtually non-existent.
嫌だ、違うもん。私のせい？
Kotori looks at me with, uncharacteristic timidity. Well, maybe, probably. Hey, well, it's not so bad, and it saves me from the trouble of having to turn down anyone that might ask me out anyways. So at least it stops people from... I'm not sure if making a proposal makes sense.
好きな女の子は特にいないと。
So it means that you have no one in mind. No, not really. Really? So...
ところでかなこさん。何？どうして急にそんなこと聞くんです？
So what made you interested?
別に会話の流れで前から気になってたしね。
Well, it just happened to be. So for Agaha, it's like, well, I'm sure something must have pushed you or got you thinking. Agaha narrows her eyes as Kanako gives a typically nonchalant reply.
もしかして今日ここにあかりさん来てませんでした？
And Agaha is right on the dot. So, did Akari-san come here today by any chance? And it's only for a second, but Kanako is visibly tensing up.
なんでそう思うのかな？
Well, that's now an obvious yes. So, Kanako just proved to Agaha that Akari did come.
いえね、さっきコンビニで会ったんですよ。あかりさん、家こっちじゃないし、なんでいるんだろうって思ってたんですけど。
Okay.
私ら来た時、テーブルにグラスが2つありましたよね。
So, there are too many giveaways. So, a cold sweat is starting to break on Kanako's forehead, her smile frozen in place. So, oops, I let it all out. And now that Agaha pointed it out, I wondered about that extra glass too. So Akari had been here earlier. But there is nothing wrong with that. So why is Kanako being so evasive?
それがどうかした？あげはちゃん。
So Agaha-chan, I think she might have came by.
今の会話と実はつながりがあるんじゃないかと。私の灰色の脳細胞が囁いてるんですよ。
So what were you talking about with her then?
その話はここじゃ。
I think it's better if we take this to private.
そうですね。後でじっくり聞かせてもらいましょうか。
Okay, so you better promise to tell everything to me. The girls conclude this cryptic exchange of words and return to their attention to the TV as if nothing had happened. Okay, so what's next?
秘密よ。絶対誰にも言っちゃダメだからね。
Okay, so for some reason they're up in, I think this is Kanako's room. So obviously, well, I'm sure they exclude Aoi from this conversation.
しかし、ぬかったわ。まさかあかりちゃん、帰りにみんなと遭遇してたなんて。
Okay, so I admit she did come through and we talked a lot.
この名探偵アゲハちゃんの観察眼を侮ってもらっちゃ困りますぜ。
So the see, I'm right.
使ったグラスをすぐ片付けなかったかなこさんのズボラが招いた失態なんじゃ。だってめんどくさかったんだもん。置いといたら葵くんがやってくれるし。
And he cleans up without any comments.
か 話だとあかりさんは勘違いしてるってことですよね。葵先輩と小鳥先輩のこと。そうなるね。
Pretty much.
まあ勘違いしたくもなるわよね、この子と葵見てたら。私は悪くないもん。友達と仲良くするのは普通のことでしょ。
But we're friends, so is there anything wrong with it?
男女の場合はそうでもないと思うよ。今仮説は立証されたわけね。葵さんに彼女ができない原因がこの人だって。
Okay, so... Well, then again, Yori's not really on good terms with Kotori, so...
私だけじゃないもん。アゲハだって一緒のペットボトル飲んだりしてかなり仲良さげよ。
And it's more like Yori's trying to find something to go against Kotori. So the fact that your presence is preventing Aoi from meeting other girls.
私はほら幼馴染だから。
And for us, we're child friends, so...
いや、普通にダメでしょ、それも。
Well, I'm sure that has nothing to do with the problem.
朝だって兄弟みたく甘えてるし、カナなんて葵くんの前で平気で下着で歩いてるし。私がそんなつもりじゃ。最近慣れちゃったみたいであたふたしてくれないのよね。まあ他の女子にモテない理由は置いといて、あかりさんは小鳥と付き合ってるって勘違いしてるわけで。ささ、会長さんかわいそう。どうにかしないとですよね。
So, is there anything we can do?
わかったわ。
Fine then, so...
自分でまいた種だもの、自分で何とかする。
Okay then, so... If it's my fault, then I'll fix it. So, I'll bring them two together. And for Aoi, he's left all alone downstairs. So, it's kind of unfair that they're blaming everything on Kotori. So the fact that you being here is preventing Aoi from meeting other girls, and to Akari, she feels that basically Aoi is already with Kotori. But then again, Aoi spends time with other girls, and not just Kotori. So after dinner, everyone had run up to the second floor for an emergency girl talk conference or meeting. And they even carried Kotori's wheelchair up, still in a wheelchair. So I wonder how hard it was to lift up Kotori's wheelchair, because we've seen this in Amane's route when they brought Kotori up to the second floor for a conference about Amane and her romance. But anyways, it's getting late, and I wish they come take their turns for the bath. I went to go call out to them, but I'm blocked from going any further at the foot of the stairs. So I'm sure if Aoi does go there, then the girls will like, hey, so stay out, get out. And I'm sure they'll push hard to keep Aoi away from the second floor. Oh, so it's more like Hat's guarding the stairs. So Hat's eyes glinted menacingly. So, no foot on the stairs or I'm gonna peck you. I could probably bribe him with some cucumbers pieces, but if the girls felt the need to post or push him on guard duty, I would not force my way in. So it must be something very sensitive. And Agha staying over tonight. Apparently, she and the others are hooked on a certain video game, and are planning to tackle some co-op quests together. And for all that talk of a emergency conference or meeting, that's probably what they are doing right now. And I guess I'm first in bath. I'm feeling pretty worn out, though more emotionally than physically. And I look down at my hand.
私は別にあなたのことを嫌ってなんかいないわ。ただちょっとどう接していいかわからず対応を誤ってしまっただけなの。
And Akari squeezed Aoi's hand, and that's why he remembers it. Well, seriously, so what is that all about? I could still recall the sensation of Akari's hand gripping mine, and the whole thing had happened so fast I am still confused, but at least I know that Akari didn't hate me after all. And that in itself is a big relief. Akari has a crush on someone? Wait, so why am I disappointed? So all the weird conversation today had my imagination running wild. So bath is just what I need to calm down and refresh myself. Hey, well, okay, I'm taking a bath, alright? So hat, no more suspicions. Aozora calls out to the girls on the second floor. Okay, so it looks like it's been a few days, and I wonder if there's any progress. So I think they're doing more test flights, and maybe Aoi is bringing Asa up to the skies. There you go. Asa begins waxing lyrical from the backseat. We are performing a trial flight today. And for Asa and me, that means another chance to enjoy the majesty of the sky close up and personal. Well, I don't think we'll catch any really strong thermals today, and this is probably about as high as we can go. So you really love gliding, right, Asa? Well, you better work hard and get your own license. So if you do, then you can fly this by yourself and experience this firsthand. And you can be the host to someone else. So maybe Yoru? Unable to find any new thermals to give us extra height, I steer us back to the runway. And better to end the flight earlier than drag it out and risk getting stranded without a proper place to land. So, is there something wrong? So, I see Akari down there. Huh? Asa had her forehead glued to the canopy, carefully scanning the ground. So you see, so she's by the convenience store. I took a look myself, but at this distance, it's hard to tell. And someone down below is watching us, that is all I can say for sure. So you must have good vision to be able to identify Akari from here. So yep, that's one of my features, so I can see from far away. So eagle eye. And I say Asa had plenty of good points, maybe she's just being modest. Or more like, so it's more like, well, I can sense someone looking at this from down there, and the most likely choice would be Akari.
やっぱりあかりさんだ。ポニーテールが見えます。
I wonder what she's doing in this neck of the woods.
決まってるじゃないですか。葵先輩を見てるんですよ。
So it's obvious, he's watching you. Wait, me? Why?
え？だってあかりさんは。そうだった。葵先輩は知らないんだった。
So it's only natural that you, by the way, so I should not reveal that to Aoi senpai, so better keep the details and these suspicions a secret. Hey, so what are you talking about?
なんでもないです。
Nothing, so nothing of interest. Asa's terrible at keeping secrets, but calling her out on it would only feel like I'm really picking on her or pushing her or probing her.
何か合図を送りましょうよ。
So how about we try a trick to impress her? Sure, why not? So I push the center control stick and gently turns the glider around. And we flew in a wide ring right above Akari.
気づいてくれるでしょうか。
Well, I don't know. And for some reason, Asa sounds really excited about it. So that was great, and so maybe, well, we'll have to ask her later. And my mind is somewhere else. So maybe we got Akari a little more interested in gliding after all. And why else would she go to the trouble of coming to watch one of our flights? Well, I wouldn't call it watching the flight. So if Akari was interested, she would actually go to the airfield or the runway and watch from there. So looking at it from the convenience store might just be a coincidence. And as I circle around some more, I found myself hoping or hoping Akari would enjoy this. So Akari is looking at the glider from below, and I stop in my tracks to look up, mumbling my remark to no one in particular. And the shiny white glider traces one circle after another in the serene, sunny sky. So it looks more like a coincidence. So Akari was just walking around, and then when she saw the glider, she knows that, it must be Aoi who's flying the glider, and let's see what he's doing or what he'll do.
水瀬君が操縦しているのかしら。
As far as I know, the club didn't have any other pilots, so it's most likely him. And that's Aoi up there in the sky. And was it possible he's seeing me down here and is putting on a little show? No, well, it can't be, but it's nice to imagine it for a while.
気づいてるはずないじゃない。私がここにいることなんか。
And it's not as if I am anything special to him. So he hadn't noticed my feelings. And up until recently, he'd been convinced that I hate him. So for a moment, the sun got too bright for me and I had to look away.
気づ
づかれてはいけないわ、この気持ちに。そんなの彼に迷惑をかけるだけですもの。
So I fully accept how I felt about Aoi or Minase-kun now. And it's love, plain and simple. I instinctively know there could be no other explanation for this deep longing that is threatening to tear me apart. I hadn't been the same since the day I rode in the glider with him, and since then my feelings had changed. I could not concentrate on my studies or my work at the student council or anything else. I never felt so useless before. I'm lucky that it's summer vacation and didn't have as many commitments as usual.
綺麗。
And forgetting that scorching heat of the summer sun, I stood there to enjoy the spectacle a little bit longer. Okay, so who's calling her? So my cell phone rings, breaking me out of my reverie. I took the phone out of my bag and answered it.
はい、もしもし、雲井です。
So this is Komai speaking.
わかりました。すぐに確認します。
So what's wrong? So, had Akari seen us circling around? Has she known it's for her? And these questions ran through my head as I prepared for another run until a noise from Asa snapped me back to reality.
これ
So, you okay?
いえ、あかりさんどっか行っちゃいました。
So, Akari-san's gone. I glanced outside the canopy, and sure enough, whoever it is that had been standing outside the store is not there now. All of a sudden, I felt deflated, though I am not completely sure why.
慌ててたみたいですけど、何かあったんでしょうか。
Okay, so Asa can understand why. Well, could be. So who knew if that even had been Akari? And thinking about it logically, there's no real reason she have been in this part of town at the time of day. So he lost a lot of height, and so he asks Asa, so we've lost a lot of height, so I want to head back now. Okay.
Yo.
Okay, so what does Masasugu want? Oh, hey, Mabo, so what's the matter? You look really shaken up.
ちょっといいか?
Of course. So Masasugu led me a ways along the lakeshore or the promenade, wearing an inscrutable expression the whole time. And when he is sure we are alone, so he let out that little facade drop. So misery is written all over him now. I had no idea what to say in the situation, so I wait for him to start. Masasugu glowers at the light from the setting sun, playing on the glittering lake waters like it's something hateful to him.
お前だったのかよ。
So why you? Well, I didn't catch what he's saying, but heartbreak and regret seemed to infuse every syllable that spilled out of his mouth. and finally some of the tension went out of him and he raises his head and spoke to me.
あかりさんがちょっと困ったことになってる。
So, she has a problem.
データ処理でミスして今日中に出さなきゃいけない書類を作り直してるんだ。
So, I see. So, it's just a correction, nothing in particular. And maybe it's her I seen during my midday flight after all. Asa says she run off a hurry too, and that must be when she found out about the error or mistake. And Masugu fixes his glare on me. And so,
明日の朝まで待ってもらえることになったけど、一からデータを揃え直さなきゃいけなくて、あかりさん一人じゃとても間に合いそうにない。
so basically she needs help. So it's a lot of work to fix and redo. So what are you doing here then? So shouldn't you be helping her or something? So you're part of the student council too.
いいって言われたんだよ。
Well, she said no. Or like, well, you can just go home and it's none of your problem to worry about. And that must have been hard on him.
これは私のミスだからって。俺には手伝ってほしくないって。
Okay?
ここんとこずっとあかりさん様子おかしかったけど、多分責任感じてるんだよ。
Maybe? And I thought back to the other day when Akari took my hand. And she'd been acting strange then too.
それでも手伝わせてほしかったけどな。俺も一応生徒会の役員なんだし。
Well, I want to help her because I'm also part of the student council. Yes. And I know where Masasugu is coming from. So although he probably wouldn't like the idea of me sympathizing with him. But, let's see. Had he really got me alone just to vent his frustration? So why exactly are you telling me all this then?
さあな。
Well, it's good to know. And with that, let's see. Brusque reply, Mabo turns away. And he felt so he left without saying another word. Hey, so Mabo? I called after him, but he did not look back. And before I know it, he's out of sight. Geez, so what's eating him? Okay, so going to Akari. Looking up, I realized that it's gone dark.
もう8時。
And nearly the whole day had passed by while I am working on recovering the data my carelessness had messed up. I've been so busy there had been no time for lunch, let alone dinner. And I wish I had the foresight to grab something on the way here. And at this rate, I just lose more and more focus, and then I never make the deadline. So my eyes roam over to my cell phone sitting on top of the desk. So maybe I shouldn't have turned down Masasugu or his offer to help, or I could have recruited other members of the council. So who else is in the student council then?
ダメよ。これは私のミスで招いたことなんだもの。
But it's my fault, so I don't want to inconvenience or bother other people for help. And I've been thinking about Aoi or Nase-kun so much that the last couple of days, and I hadn't been getting enough sleep either. And that lack of concentration had led me to making a big mistake with this document. And in my whole term as the council president, I never screwed up this badly before. So it's a critical mistake, and
いつまでも実ることのない恋愛に気を取られているからこんなことになるのよ。
and if other people find out, then it's really going to shoot my reputation as this responsible person, this reliable person as the president of the student council. So Minase-kun is happy with Kotori, and I'm sure by it. But just knowing that didn't do me a lot of good.
この気持ちはどうやって処理すればいいの？
And I'm, a total novice when it comes to romance, and my emotions are starting to overwhelm me. And how could I forget about him? I decided to ask Kanako tomorrow if she knows a way.
いけない。また水瀬くんのことを考えていたわ。
And I shook my head and looked back down at the paperwork. So, okay, I'm here. I gotta fix this. So this is why I'm in this place.
はい。
Please come in. And Aoi goes and checks on Akari. So, how's it going?
水瀬くん、あなたどうしてここに？
So Mabo told me that you'll be here, and he said that you got a lot of work to get through, and... So, yeah, that's true, and there's this is so unexpected, and all I could do is sit there like an idiot with my mouth agape. And hearing about this from Masasugu, I could understand, but why would that bring Minase-kun here? Oh, so we're looking at this from Akari's perspective. And I thought I bring you, this in case you hadn't had a chance to eat this yet. Oh, so I was gonna serve Akari something. So he places a bag from a convenience store in front of me. Okay, so I hope this is good. I try to pick out some stuff that you could eat without having to stop working. I could see a couple of sandwiches and rice balls in there.
ありがとう。
Thanks. And since I'm here, how about I help you out? So the computer's free, right? And Aoi just turns on the computer next to me. So he doesn't even listen to what Akari has to say and just starts working right away.
気持ちは嬉しいけれど、結構よ。差し入れだけいただいておくわ。
So it's okay with the work, but I appreciate the food. Wait, come on. So what's the harm in it?
これは私のミスで招いた事態だからよ。あなたに迷惑をかけられないわ。
Oh, so Mabo and I are not under any obligation to help, right? So we are not required to help, but we can voluntarily help you. I nod. I could not bear to look at her or him in the eye. But we still have, to fix this, don't we? And I want to help. If there's anything I can do for you, I'll be glad to do it.
水瀬くん。
And besides, it doesn't look like you, or you're going to finish all this on your own. So you've had to ask for a new deadline once already, right? So you had to ask for one extension.
それは。
But then again, the extension is too short. So this is not like you. So look at this logically. And this stuff affects more than the student council, right? So the stuff affects regular members of the student body too, you know? And what's gonna happen if you don't submit this on time? So I wonder what kind of report is critical and urgent and is big. I couldn't think of anything to say to that. And Naseku's argument is sound. Under normal circumstances, I completely agree with him. And some stubborn parts of me resented him spelling things out for me like this. But when I got or looked over at him, he just smiled. Okay, so I'm going to just go ahead and help whatever you like it or not. And he sits down, showing no signs of budging anytime soon. So go on and eat, and you've got to keep your strength up.
いただきます。
And feeling a little awkward, I help myself to a tuna mayonnaise rice ball.
はいよ。ハーゲンダッチちょっと大人のビターチョコレート味。
Okay, so it looks like it's taking more time than usual and Aga shows up. So here's your, let's see, Haagen-Dazs with bitter chocolate, and it's very popular with mature guys.
なんだよこれ。
Oh, okay, so they're in front of the convenience store, and I wonder what is up right now.
おごってやろうって言ってんの。幼馴染のよしみでね。高いやつよ。
サンキュー。
ふふん。私はクッキー&クリーム。もう、元気出しなって。
So cheer up.
出せるかよ。振られたのに。
Well, I got dumped.
じゃあ、なんで葵に教えたりしたのさ、あかりさんのこと。
あいつに話せば、なんとかしてくれると思ったんだよ。悪いか。
書類のこと？それとも振られたって言うけど、あんた告白したの？
Okay, so you know, you never asked her out, so I don't think she even knows that you had feelings for her in the first place.
いや。
ならまだわかんないじゃん、あかりさんの気持ち。
わかるんだよ。あかりさんが思わずポロッと口に出したんだ。水瀬くんのことで頭がいっぱいでって。テンパっててつい言っちゃったことにも気づいてないみたいだった。
そっか。そりゃ辛いね。
Well, I guess that sucks for you.
別にどうってことねえよ。
Well, I'm pretty sure I'll recover eventually.
でもあかりさんのことほっとけないから葵がフォローしてくれるよう事情を話したと。
あいつ昔っからええかっこしいだからな。状況だけ説明したら頼まなくても勝手に動くだろうと思ったんだよ。
So, Masasugu can predict what I will do, so if he sees someone in need of help, he'll voluntarily offer himself. And that's exactly what happened when he went to see Akari at school.
目論見通りだね。
ほんと単純だよあいつ。
Well, he's easy to read, so it's obvious.
惚れた女のために身を引くなんてあんたらしくもない。
構わねえよ。俺もう他に好きな子できたし。
So, I'm gonna go for someone else.
はい。振られたの今日のお昼頃でしょ？
Wait, so you already have someone else in mind? I'm sure, once again, Masasugi has not asked her out, or he's just interested from the eyes.
やっぱ俺みたいないい男には年上の女は似合わないだろ。年下の可愛い子の方がさ。
節操ないな。
So that makes no sense. So you have no sense of decency, right?
過去にとらわれない男と言ってくれ。
そんなさっぱりした性格じゃないくせに、結局あんたは葵のことが大好きなんだね。
はあ、なんでそうなるんだよ。誰が熱。
No, I don't really care much about Aoi. Or forget about him.
あ、つば飛ばすわ汚い。
Hey, so don't be upset. So,
まったくもう素直じゃないんだから。
well, who cares? I'm gonna eat and forget about all this talk from you because you're just making it worse.
ま、下手な鉄砲数打ちゃ当たるさ。葵より好きになれる子がいつか現れるといいね。
That's true.
気持ち悪いこと言ってんじゃねえよ、バカアゲハ。
はいはい。
Okay. Okay, so back to school. So, that should do it. I checked the data against the printout one more time and then slumped back in my chair. So, okay, all good, all fixed.
ありがとう水瀬くん。おかげで助かったわ。
Well, no problem. So, it's a lot easier when you split the work, right?
ええ。
Obviously. Akari blushes and looks away. Okay, so what do you say? So we got this last part finished and call it a day? So I guess this is a good place to stop for you, right? And up until now, we've been re-entering and recalculating data. And now we just had to collect it. Oh, so let's see, collate it into more coherent looking documents. So now that they have the data, they have to publish it and make it in a more understandable format. So something that people can understand rather than just numbers. I adjust my posture ready for the final stretch. Akari's looking at the clock on the wall.
ここまででいいわ。
Okay, so I'll just end it here then. Well, come on. So I might as well see it through to the end now that I'm here. So how about we just finish everything now?
ありがとう。でも大丈夫。残りは家でもできるから。
Well, I'm just going to do the rest from home. So I don't need the computers anymore and I don't need school equipment anymore. So all the data and files we need had been kept on the school computers, hence Akari needing to work in the student council room. Oh, cool. So I might still be able to catch the last train.
家で仕上げて朝一で持ってくればいいから。
Well, let's just finish it tomorrow, so... Well, there's no point in staying here any longer than we had to. I'm relieved, but also a little sad. So working together on this job had been really rewarding, and it's a shame to cut things short right when we found out our groove. I kind of want to spend more time with Akari, though. And the trains will not be running for much longer, but Akari made no move to get ready to leave either. And maybe she's thinking the same thing. So that is a nice idea, but not all that likely when I thought about it though. So I'll walk you to the station.
でも悪いわ。
Well, it's the least I can do. It can be dangerous walking around the streets alone after dark. So Akari casts her gaze down, her cheeks going slightly red, and nods. Okay, so I'll take your offer. So it is cold.
ええ、湿度が高くないせいかしら。あまり暑さを感じないわね。
Okay. So Akari and I are on the street that led to the nearest train station. And at this rate, so at this late hour, there aren't a lot of people around. Apart from the occasional office worker returning home from a late night shift, we're the only ones here. And we made a small talk now and then, but mostly we walked in silence. But it's not an uncomfortable silence, so somehow it felt just right. And I took my cell phone out of my pocket and checked the time. Okay, so we still got some time before the last train is due.
そうね。
And if we want or went straight to the station now, we probably have to wait another 15 minutes. Well, I'm sure at this point it's better to go there now and wait for 15 minutes rather than just hang out now and make a last minute dash attempt to catch the last train. Well, anyways, I'm thirsty. And I gestured to a nearby vending machine.
じゃあ私が何かおごるわ。
Okay, so I'll buy that for you. That's okay. So I can buy that on my own.
いいえ、さっき差し入れをもらったし。
Well, no, it's my gratitude. The car dashes over to the vending machine before I had a chance to take out my wallet. Okay, well, I'll just go for soda. And there comes the item. So we still have plenty of time, so we took a break and sat down next to the road. Okay, so we see Akari, so thanks. So they're on a bench.
どうぞ。
And a cold soda would be refreshing on a night like this. I twist the lid of the bottle open. So Akari did the same. Phew, well, I finally feel a little more human. Akari smiles back at me bashfully.
今日はありがとう。あなたに手伝ってもらったおかげで、なんとか間に合いそうよ。
Sure, well, bet you're glad you let me stay now. She grinned at my playful jab.
でも、どうして手伝いに来てくれたの？
Okay? Well, like I said, Samabo told me you had a lot, well, more than you could handle alone. And I could not just leave you hanging, could I?
それだけ？
And that's it? Well, pretty much.
そう。
And is it me, or did she sound a little bit disappointed with that answer? And has she been expecting me to say something more? So we, nursed the rest of our drinks without exploring that subject any further. And after a couple more minutes, I spoke again, mumbling into the still night air. So maybe because we're kind of alike.
え？
So you and me, we are not all that different.
私が水瀬くんと？
I nod, putting down my drink. It seems to me like you always try to make the best of any situation, to make things that are a little bit better. And I kind of know what it's like to want to do that.
そうなんだ。
I see. Well, sorry, so it's not much of a compliment being compared to someone like me, huh?
そんなことないわ。嬉しい。すごく嬉しい。
So Akari sounding incredibly excited. Let's see, desperate even all of a sudden. and her cheeks are starting to go red.
私何を言ってるのかしら。またこんな、もう嫌だ。
So, well, I really admire Kotori. And you know how I said before that she got her sights set higher than the rest of us? And despite her handicap or her disability and the way she acts spoiled sometimes, she got a unshakable will where it counts. And though I admit that sometimes works against her. And when I first transferred here, Kotori's unwillingness to compromise had made her unpopular at both school and the dorm. And in lots of ways, she's still a child. She's held onto her childlike purity, and that's why she can put her whole heart into her dreams. Well, I know I can't be like her, but I get the feeling working with her will help me aim a little bit higher. And I crane my neck up at the night sky, imagining the way it would look during the day. I could feel Akari's eyes on me. Though she's right next to me, she gave off the impression that she is looking right through and far beyond me.
水瀬くんも十分すごいわ。羽羽さんとは違うだけで、あなたはあなたの飛び方を知っている人だもの。
So the way I fly?
あなた言っていたでしょ？グライダーは一人じゃ飛ばせないって。
That's true. Yes.
もしあなたがいなければ、ソアリング部は今日まで続けてこられなかったと思う。羽羽さんが一番高いところを見ている人なら、水瀬くんはいろんな人の目線に寄り添うことができる。そういう人なんだと思う。
I never thought of it like that.
あなたがいたから、あの日ソアリング部は始まったんだから。
And with Amane as its sole member, it would have been shut down, and I guess I did find enough, let's see, new blood to keep it rolling.
あなたは私とは違うわ。私はそんな風に誰かの目線に寄り添えないもの。
Akari's gaze wanders down to the ground, her face wearing a melancholy smile. And I didn't agree with her. And she's the student council president, after all. That required a lot of leadership than it did to keep our ragtag little club in line. And not to mention, she'd been the only one open-minded about or to negotiate with Amane and Kotori about reviving the club. And she's just too modest to see this. And come to think of it, I never considered my own actions as anything special, not in the way Akari had described them. Even now, I felt like I only done what came naturally. And there didn't seem to be anything else to say, so we both clammed up, and this time it's an awkward silence. So I reached over and took another sip of soda just for something to do. Yes? Okay, I done it again. And why now of all times? I got ahead and picked up the wrong bottle. Uh-oh. Oops, sorry, honest mistake. Okay, so I'll leave this to the next episode. So, once again, it's gonna be an indirect kiss, but I'm sure this time it really is gonna be one. So the first time was at the hangar when they had Akari watch the activities of the glider being fixed. But then again, Ayaho was the one who took the mistake, so she drank from Aoi's bottle. But I also like how Akari mentions that, well, you, Minase-kun, also contributed to saving the club, so it's not just Habane-san. And I wonder why. So I guess that's for us to find out next time.